Yo, what's up, guys? We're gonna get started in just a minute here. Bitcoin might pump on stream, that'd be pretty cool. Just giving people a second to get in here. Alright, everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? So, is Bitcoin gonna go, or we just consolidating here for nothing? Alright, so let's do a quick update because I know it's been a minute since I've been able to get on here live with you guys. So, what we were looking at before was we were looking at this previous range here. And basically our thesis was because we closed above this range deviation on the daily that we were coming up targeting premium of the range, which is at like 109,800. So that played out nicely. We got a nice little bounce from our discount of the range here, like 105.3, and then continued that move up to premium. So that target's been hit. So if we don't break structure here on the daily, I mean we broke internal structure, right? But if we don't break external structure, we are currently did reject from premium, where we would expect to get a rejection if we're going to continue this trend down. But right now, we're just, like been saying, we're just ranging sideways. Now, we do have a lot of things going in our favor that are keeping me kind of bullish, even though we're near the highs here. And that's going to be pretty much every time that we've tried to push the price down. And we put in a nice low here internally on the daily as well. But every time that we've tried to come down and push the price down, it's been bought up underneath the EMAs. Remember what I tell you guys, whenever you have strong gapped EMAs, you're basically just looking to get on trend underneath them, right? Had a couple chances here on the daily to get on trend here. As long as this low holds, not really necessarily anything to get too bearish about. So what we see here is like we put in a low here, right? And this is an anchored VWAP, this red line here. Now, what's nice about an anchored VWAP is whenever you are starting like a new trend, you'll see that the first bounce that you get is normally off of the anchored VWAP from the low. Now, we went over this before when we talked about why this low was so important, right? It's because if we come down here on the daily and we put an anchored VWAP on this low that we put in here, we bounced right from that when we came down here, right? So if this is going to be the start, like if this is going to be the wave one of a bigger 5 wave or whatever the case may be, right? This would be the logical place where you would expect to put in your first higher low. And similarly, you can see that playing out on the smaller time frame within the daily trend as well. So as long as we hold this VWAP and as long as we hold this internal higher low that we set here at like 105, I'm not really worried, because also, I mean, if you just do standard TA here, right? Like we have this bullish engulfing candle here, right? And then we have a bunch of inside bar consolidation that's sticking above the midpoint of the candle. I mean, it's just a traditional bull flag, right? So putting in a bull flag while maintaining closes above the downtrend, right? Generally, what you're going to see with this is you're going to want to see 2 candles closing in the same direction, breaking above the resistance, right? So like if tomorrow's candle can manage to close, and this might be worth marking on your chart, but if tomorrow's candle can close above 108.895, then generally you would consider this breakout on the daily at least to be valid. Weekly, we closed above, we came back down to retest, kind of this like weekly pivot here on like 108.327. Looks like we're trying to hold above here. So again, as I said, update you guys in the beginning of the week in the Discord. I said that Monday's close and this week's close are going to be really important, and that's to confirm the breakout above the downtrending resistance here, which we are looking to hold. And I mean, you can even see on the weekly, right? Like we flipped the trend, we came down. Where'd we bounce from? Underneath the positively crossed EMAs. Okay, so that's kind of the macro right now, is we're just waiting to see if this 105 low holds. No real reason to be bearish until we lose this low. And even then we have supports along the way. That's kind of right, we turn a discount anyway. Now, what's the important level to mark here? Kind of 114.344, because that would be whichever side of this, whether it's 114, 344, or 100,800, whichever side gets a daily close first, that's going to give you direction, right? Now, what makes this number kind of more important, right? Well, we have more confidence as to how we could come up here. So I updated you guys on like the spider line trade in the Discord, right? So if you notice, as we're kind of forming this bull flag consolidation here, we've held all of these closes above this spider line here, which suggests that we could get a move up to, it's like around that 114, 115K ish level. So we'd want to see if we get a close above there when we come up there. Well, at least what I'll be watching is like if we get a close above here, or if we kind of wick above it and then close back below to maybe rotate down and then come back up in September or whatever the case may be, right? But right now, yeah, there's so much liquidity up here at both of these highs that it's, in my opinion, kind of just a matter of time as long as we hold 105. Let's see. If you guys have any coins you want to look at or any questions, go ahead and throw them in chat. I'm just going to continue running through kind of everything that I'm looking at and show you how you guys can catch some of these trades. So, like, let's go. Let's go over here. So let me get a clean chart. Okay. So let's say you guys want to catch some of these like intraday trades. So there's a really easy way to do that. Now you can use Cipher Matrix if you have that. If you don't have that, you can just throw on 2 EMAs here. And I kind of showed this in one of my videos, but it's been hitting really well, so just want to go over this on stream with you guys. So if you set one to the 50, we'll make this blue, and we'll make this the 200. Now if you have Cipher Matrix, you can just throw on the 200 and just use the trend cloud as your 50. But basically, every time that we've been coming below these on a bigger time frame have been great buys, right? So here's the 4 hour. So when we come down to put in this higher low, where do we put it in from? Right underneath the 200 EMA, right? And let's go up to the 1 hour. Same thing, right? We come below the 1 hour, it's a great time to get in. We come below the 1 hour, it's a great time to get in. We come below the 1 hour, SFP, great time to get in. Come below the 1 hour 200, great time to get in. And generally, your TP1 is going to be at the previous EMA, right? But you could still be in these trades. And if we are going to do a bigger move up, like I think we're going to do, yeah, like, again, you just go through the time frames, right? So we get a close blow on the 1 hour here. What's the next time frame? Oh, the 90 minute. Oh, we haven't tested underneath the 90 minutes since here. Come underneath it, we bounce from there. So if you're looking for ways to get in on this bigger move up, the easiest way to do that is just to use the EMA trade, since we're in a strong defined trend, right? 2 hour, we tap the 2 hour down here. These are great times to get on trend. Let's see. Yeah, TF, I agree. Wicked easy. Wicked easy. When something's trending, it's like your invalidation would be this 50 crosses back under the 200. It's one of the easiest ways to get on trend for sure. Like, for example, you would have caught this whole move down, right? 50 crosses 200, enter here, right? Target previous low. But yeah, and target previous high here, so you would have gotten out, get back in there. But, or if you're holding, you know, a moon bag or whatever. But yeah, I wanted to show that real quickly because that's a great way to get on trend as well. Oscillators, another great thing that you can do is slap a 200 moving average on your RSI. I'm going to make a video on this sometime this week for sure, but you're looking for when the RSI crosses the 200, and if the RSI is above, if the 200 moving average on your RSI is above the 50 line, then generally it's going to be an uptrend. You're going to be favoring longs. If it's below the 50 line, like back when we were dropping from 100K, if it's below the 50 line, generally you're going to be favoring shorts, and you're going to be entering like whenever it crosses the 200 bearishly here. So that happened like right here. If you notice, if you take a short from there, the price pretty much went straight down. Yeah, so this is another little tool, just giving you guys kind of a sneak peek. I'm going to do a video on it later, but adding a 200 moving average on your standard RSI, a great way to get entries. You want to favor entries on the side of trend that the moving average is on, whether that's above the 50 line or under the 50 line. Another thing to call out there. Let's see. Be careful when it starts ranging. Yeah, bigger time frames, guys. Bigger time frames for the EMAs. But I mean, it works, of course, on smaller time frames. But if you're looking for, right, of course it works on smaller time frames. They cross. Where are you getting in? Below. So if you are scalping, you know, it definitely still works, right? Take profit one, right? But yeah. And again, your stop loss would be if this crosses that, gets saved, doesn't cross, you're still in this trade, up you go, right? Yeah. But I mean, like here, right? Like you get in, TP1, get out of the trade. No. Okay. And then, yeah, crosses bearishly, you short it back down to the lows, boom, there you go. Winning trade, TP1 here, TP2 here, out, comes up, lose this trade, get out, wait, they cross bullishly, get back in here, and you saw the two other trades, right? So just make sure that you're getting out when you should be getting out if you're going to be using this on smaller time frames. Okay. Let's see. What else could we look at here? Does 12 hour still look spicy here? Can you explain the Bollinger Band and the EMA? New York liquidity grab. Bollinger Band, do you mean like the layout that I have with like the 1 hour EMAs? Is that what you're talking about? With like the 1 hour 50 and the 200? Whew, yeah, this looks spicy. Where's premium on this? Premium on this? Yeah, I mean, can't make this shit up, guys. Like, the range switches to premium right at the range deviation, like 114, 200. Like, it's liquidity in the highs, right? We just tapped the low of the range, right? Tap the low, get a bounce, kind of bing-bonging around in here, getting everybody bearish so they can short their stop losses here and then sweep them, right? Can you explain specifically for the liquidity grab? Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Let's pull that up. Okay, so I think the liquidity grab, yeah, liquidity grab's here. Yeah, so this is the strategy that talks about the using 1 hour EMAs, using the 1 hour 20 and the 1 hour 50. So this white line is the 1 hour 20. This yellow line is the 1 hour 50. This is a layout that I use to scalp a lot, or to get on trend and like know when price is overextended, shit like that. But yeah, so you'll notice that the 20 crosses the 50 on the 1 hour, and then we come down in New York to grab liquidity. You would be entering in this zone here. You even have a nice little, structure, break of structure, G-string pattern right there, right? Right. And then your invalidation would be if this 20 crosses back below the 50. It doesn't, right? You see? So you're still in the trade if you entered anyway down here, and you're looking to take it up to like the highs of the Bollinger Band. And you get your first break of structure here, you could get out of that, right? Look to re-enter down here, but you technically could hold it because this is a pretty bullishly gapped EMAs. But yeah, so that is this what you're talking about, Cuban? Want to see what I think of fart? Yeah, we can look at fart. Let's do it. We'll grab a fresh chart. I think Geeky was looking at the 4 hour. Oh, that was on virtual, so it wasn't on fart. So we're on our point of control right now. A lot of liquidity down here at $1. Something to be aware of. I think that's also like the value area low from the first break of structure in here. Yeah. So you got your value area low at like $1.01. That's where I said we were probably going when we lost this POC here. So yeah, I like a sweep of this low if we're gonna get it. Like a sweep into the 4 hour reversal zone on fart would be awesome. Like if we can wick this, if we can come down, wick the reversal zone, close above, that would be awesome, right? Because remember, what are you looking for on this? You're looking for comes into the reversal zone, first higher low taps, comes out, right? You're looking for it to continue. Where's the best re-entry when it retests that reversal zone for the first time for continuation back up, right? So I would be looking. I would set an alert at that low. I'd like to see that swept if we can, like sweep $1, get all those stop losses out. That'd be really nice. Yeah. So they are the same bull runners. So you'll just see a chotch before the break of structure. So a change of character just means that the current trend has broken, but a break of structure means that the trend has actually reversed in the opposite direction. So you'll see a change of character. That's going to be your first sign that things could change. And then your break of structure is going to be the actual confirmation that, okay, there's a trend forming in the opposite direction. What you'll notice a lot of times in an uptrend is your first bearish change of character is generally a liquidity grab. So it's often you'll see, like if you're on the 1 hour time frame and you're in like a strong 1 hour uptrend, you'll notice that when you start to see your first bearish change of character, like, oh, we're on Farcoin. I can probably show you. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to the 1 hour here. Yeah, so here's an example in a downtrend, right? So you're in this, you get this strong, higher time frame change of character. You're coming down. If you're part of the WaveCipher crew, you know your best selling opportunities are going to be above this EMA, right? But right here, right, you see you get a bullish change of character here, but it's just a liquidity grab, and then boom, they just nuke it, right? And you'll see the same thing when we're going up. So, like, let's see. Let's go back to when times were bullish. Okay. Yeah, so like when you're in these strong uptrends, you'll get this change of character, and it's generally the best entry. Come up, you'll get this change of character, it's generally the best entry. Now, this is only tradable if you know how to identify like a lower time frame, switch back in the same direction as your higher time frame. So this is not necessarily like I see this, I want to buy. This is I see this, I want to go down to the 15-minute or the 10-minute and try to see when the 10-minute flips to realign with the 1 hour, because then generally I'm probably getting the best re-entry back into the current trend, because expecting that the trend will continue. But you'll see all the way up to pretty much when we put in our top, right? These bearish change of characters are generally liquidity grabs, which is why when you start to see like a real bearish break of structure after a change of character, that's when you get a real drop, right? That's when you get like the real 20% correction. So that's something to keep in mind when you're reading these. Is you don't, this is just, hey, be careful. Or if it's in a strong trend, this is, hey, let's look at some smaller time frames and see when things align again. This is like, okay, yeah, shit's changed. It might be time to wait for a second. That's the difference there. That makes sense. Okay. Virtuals? Yeah, we can check out virtuals. I don't think I even have a chart for that. Let's see. Because this thing just fucking went straight up and straight down, right? Let's see. Yeah. Ah, man, yeah, I mean, I still like a liquidity sweep on virtuals, too. I still like a sweep of 138. This comes back down into discount, maybe. So what are we bouncing from right now? Is it like an order block or something? Let's see. So we are in, okay, so we're in a daily order. Well, we might not get the sweep then. Yeah, we might not get the sweep. Wait, did this break anything? SFP, yeah, so if we put on high and low. I mean, it swept the previous one. You might still get a sweep. Yeah. I mean, this is where you'd be looking for entries. I like a sweep, but again, it's only like 3% more down, so. But you're still in a bearish overall trend, so you're kind of knife catching here. But if Bitcoin goes up, it should raise everything else up with it. Check JTO. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's look. JTO. Is this, what is this? Okay. I don't know what this is, but I can do TA on it. Let's see. Weekly is still, yeah, weekly's in a downtrend on this. Yeah, it's in a pretty strong downtrend. It just did a deviation of the top of the channel. Now it's coming back down. You got disc. Yeah, I like a sweep of these lows on Jita too. I think you're looking like a sweep of one of these two liquidity zones. If it's going to hold, let's see. Got here and here. Okay, so if it's going to hold and it's not going to sweep liquidity, I like here. and I like here. So that's, yeah, I would set alerts here. So I like a 15 or 30-minute break of structure in one of these zones, whether it's 1.73 or 1.664. So if it comes down here and gives you some sort of structure break to put a stop loss, right? Then I like that for a move back up to those. But I wouldn't, I would let this breathe until it gives you something. But that's what I see on Jito. Yeah, HRJ, pretty much, man. Pretty much. Good to see you in here, man. XDC? Yeah, you can look at that. XDC. Why does this sound familiar? Giant scam wick right down to the weekly support. That would have been the perfect time to get in right there. Man, what? An instant 2x? Nice, okay. Yeah, well, definitely don't look at leverage on this. A lot of resistance above us. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You're saying, like, yeah, short off this OBIM here? Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, if you trust leverage on this thing, you could short this supply touch here. Now, you'd really just be looking for it to come down to, like, underneath the EMAs here. So what is that, like 5% move for TP1? Yeah. And then your next target could be like this volume support here, like 0.6. It's confluent with like this OBIM here. Yeah. Yeah, like 0.61. Yeah. Yeah, Dave, I see what you're saying. Put your stop like above this high. Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to look at? Yeah, for sure, man. No problem. All right. So we went over most of the things in the beginning. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say about this before we call it here. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Big level that I'm watching here. Right? So 12 hour here. Bitcoin to gold, right? So we put in this SFP of the low here, right? And then we SFP'd the high. Put an alert on Bitcoin to gold at 33.22. If we can close, because we SFP'd this on the 4 hour too. If we can close a candle above 33.22, that would be a high time frame change of character back into alignment with the weekly. This is like my primary edge on Bitcoin. Like, if you see a 12-hour candle close above 33.22, that would put the weekly in an uptrend, with the daily also being in an uptrend, which is money, right? And we already see the weekly broke out of the downtrend and retested it pretty much perfectly. And why do I love this chart? I've been over this with you guys before, right? So we had this 4 hour order block down here, right? Where did we put in that low at 105? Where did we put it in? Well, it doesn't look like we tapped it here, but if you go on the 5-minute, you'll notice we bounced right exactly from that order block, right? This is how I've caught so many easy bottoms on Bitcoin. It's super easy. This chart just works. It's freaking awesome. So make sure you guys set an alert on this chart, 3322. It will give you the breakup structure before Bitcoin USD will, I promise you. Put that alert there. If you stayed all the way through, that's your extra sauce for staying all the way to the end. And it's great to be back, guys. I'm glad more of you guys are able to make this stream, and we will keep this time going forward for the rest of the week. Let's see. Correct. So you want to favor, yes. So you want to favor the side of the trade that is trending. It's also going to be the side of the trade that has the least signals populating, right? So for example, when we were looking at Bitcoin on the 12-hour here, right? When we were looking at Bitcoin here on the 12-hour, you'll notice that we're in a strong uptrend, and there are lots of, give it a second here. There are lots of sell signals. Why? Because there's going to be lots of divergences on the way up, right? But we know that we don't sell until we lose the bands and we retest them bearishly, right? So we would have maybe taken this one. But notice there aren't any buy signals on this except for at the bottom, right? So when we come back up here, that's why on stream I was like, hey guys, this 12-hour buy signal is important. Not only did we retest the bottom discount of the range, but we also, this is our first buy signal in this new 12-hour trend. So if the 12-hour trend is going to continue, logically, we can look at both the anchored VWAP, where we would expect it to reverse from. We can look at the reversal band that got wicked, right, which is what we were looking at the 4-hour on those other coins, right? We can look at the first 12-hour buy signal. We can look at the trend ribbon flip. You can look at all of these things, and we can say, hey, this is probably a good time to buy. And look, price hasn't come back down to that level, right? This it's just holding above this and inside bar consolidation on the daily. So, looks great. Yeah. My dog, yeah, she's a sweetheart, Australian Shepherd. Check whiff or Doge. So Doge looks great. Yeah, I still think Doge put a bottom in at that 14, whenever it wicked 14.6 or whatever. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I still think this was a significant bottom here when it wicked 14.3. I do. Now, your validation would be if you lose this low, because you lose the weekly uptrend that we're in. Did we break 4-hour yet? So high for 4-hour would be, is that green? Yeah, be here. Oh yeah, even more confident now. Yeah. Yep. Doge looks good. Where if you're looking to get on trends, you don't want this low to break here. Where's your order block? Order block here. Well, I would just kind of take this area here. Yeah, and set an alert 16.5. 16.5. If you're looking to get on Doge. All right. Awesome. Any other questions? All right, sweet guys. Well, I appreciate all of you stepping by. It's awesome. Got 23 people here right now. If y'all could just do me a favor on the way out, like the stream. And we'll be back tomorrow and do some more TA, do some more chilling. Awesome to have you guys here. Hope you guys have a great night. WaveCipher out.